Hey there guys, welcome back to another Monster Super League video. It's your boy Odin, and today I kind of wanted to cover the news that was just released yesterday afternoon by 4:33 regarding the upcoming update. Of course, the big elephant in the room has always been sliming and the issue of sliming. And for those of you who are not informed, sliming is basically the process by which you take gold and turn it back into astro gems, and then astro gems into energy, and then energy to basically gold, and it's just an endless loop where you can be free to play 24/7 and kind of use the in-game resources to kind of keep continuing and refueling your energy and astro gems so that you can basically continue to play the game all day long. This is not an exploitative measure. It's something that's been put into the game by the developers themselves, and it looks like they have finally decided to change how the game basically functions. And that's pretty much sliming in a nutshell. It's just, people are able to continue to play the game for free by being able to turn their gold into astro gems and their astro gems into energy, and then kind of just repeating that endless loop. So we're just going to go ahead and go to the Facebook page here and go over the updates that they just released. So if you guys have read through the post itself, they announced a couple of new changes, some positive changes, including this new Astromon, as well as some changes to the weekly in-game quests. And this is kind of where things kind of get a little bit funky. They announced that the current in-game rewards mechanics will be almost entirely revamped in the next update. In-game quests can be broken down into 4 different types: capture, challenges, monthly, and weekly quests. Capture is the only one that will be excluded from these changes, meaning that they're going to retain their pay to win capture events that they usually have with the new exotic Astromons. Unfortunately, a couple of months ago, they changed their strategy towards pay to play, whereas now you kind of have to buy some Astro Chips if you want to continue to obtain some of the new exotic Astromon. Otherwise, you're kind of forced to just sit on your Astro Chips until you can get a mon that you really want, or use them towards the mon that you really want, rather than in obtaining every mon. So that kind of in itself kind of defeated the purpose of collecting Astromon as it was. But, that's just another monster in itself. But here's where things get really interesting. So they basically said, we're removing a portion of challenges, especially by ones by their nature that have long been deemed to be mere duplicates of pre-existing challenges, which includes the Evolve 1 Astromon to Evolution Level 3, which is a repeatable quest by which you basically turn your gold into astro gems. Now, the one thing to note here is that it only says Evolve 1 Astromon to Evolution Level 3. Currently, if you go into the game, which I'm going to show you guys, there is another quest that is also repeatable, that is Evolve 1 Astromon to Evolution Level 2. Now, if you guys know, the Astromons basically to turn to Evo 2 also grants you 10 Astro Gems. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys here really quick. Okay, so we got our Astromon to Evolution Level 2, and this is a quest that currently exists within the game as well, and it's Evolve an Astromon to Evolution Level 2, and it gives you 10 Astro Gems. Now, I don't know if they purposely left that out of the notification, or if they intended to specifically only leave out the Evolve 1 Astromon to Evolution Level 3 as the major change for the upcoming patch. As you guys can see there, this is currently in the game, and then after the update, they'll change it to Evolve 1 Astromon to Evolution Level 3, no longer repeatable. Now, let's go back to the game here really quickly. If you guys do the quest, which is to evolve, 1 Astromon to Evolution Level 3, which I guess we'll do another one here real quick. It will actually grant you 60 Astro Gems. So if you do that whole process of sliming, for basically 4 times, you'll get 100 Astro Gems, which is the current way to turn your gold into Astro Gems. It costs around 370 Astro Gems. So pretty much what they're saying here is that they're only going to be changing that evolution level 3 quest. Again, I'm not entirely sure if they meant to leave that out. It's just food for thought. So it may not necessarily mean that they're going to kill sliming in general. Maybe just that specific quest, which is the evolution level 3. Again, it doesn't say evolution level 2. Now, to kind of avoid having to say a really bad word, I'm going to say that it's going to be a really crappy move on 433's part if they do also intend to take out that evolution level 2. And I hope that I'm not fueling the fire here by actually mentioning that on YouTube. I just wanted to kind of, let you guys kind of ease up a little bit on the fire as well, letting you know that if they do intend to change a lot of the game mechanics, the hope is that they will leave that evolution level 2 quest as repeatable as well. Although, again, it's kind of hard to say because they do say that they masters can no longer repeat the same challenges indefinitely. So challenges is plural, and so that also could include the evolution level 2. They also did say that they're going to remove a lot of the duplicate quests, which to me is kind of like that's a very wide topic in itself. As you guys know, the dailies are all the same, so does that mean that they're going to change the dailies as well? The dailies have always been the same, and the rewards from the dailies are actually crap. And the only reason why you do them is because after 20 days you can get a whole gleam, and if you do all the monthly quests, you get a holy gleam. So let's see if we can take a look at that really quick. Yeah, so pretty much if you do the, just the regular login, you'll get a Holy Gleam. And then if you do the quests, you end up getting a 1 Gleam and the regular Holy Gleam that you get during the month. So all in all, that's pretty much what the big fuzz is all about. It's sliming in general. If you guys are, if you're watching this, more than likely you know exactly what it is I'm talking about and how really impactful this change will be. Mainly because it also will change a lot of the things that you will do in game, especially in things like golems. Not having that 100% availability of energy is going to definitely limit how many runs you do on golems every week. Not only that, but also your ability to run the story mode to get your materials that you need for your super evolution. It's a big topic, and mainly it's because the whole entire game itself is based around that specific concept of running the loop of changing your gold to Astro Gems to energy. Myself, I am mainly a free-to-play player, but I do purchase the packs, at least like once a month or something like that, like just the small ones that grant you energy. I'm not by any means a big spender, but I do also contribute to the game. It's a fun game. I've been playing it for over a year now. And I think that if you're going to play a game for that long, it's perfectly fine to support that game if you want it to continue going as the time progresses. A lot of the games basically get shut down after a year. So I can definitely say that 433 is looking for means to continue playing the game. And that is something that they emphasized on their newest update. But I think that this is a major change that more people should be aware of, and it should be talked about. This is a topic that's been kind of on the background for almost 4 years now. And they have tried to get rid of it in the past, but the backlash from the community has always been there because it is basically fundamentally changing the entire system or the entire game itself. Personally, I think that we'll have to wait and see how exactly they intend on changing a lot of these specific content-wide methods, specifically when it comes to taking into consideration things like updating your gems and being able to have weekly quests that grant you a little bit more Astro Gems. Now, they did say that they're going to be implementing new challenges that will grant around 1,000 or so gems a week just by doing the quests. Yeah, here it is. So for their calculation, they're doing 1,100 Astro Gems on a monthly basis from quests. I think that's not enough. Myself now, I can probably make anywhere between 4,000 to 6,000 or so every, week or 2 weeks, depending on how heavily I farm. I'm sure there are bots out there that have been, doing this thousands and thousands of times on all day long. But personally, I'm a regular player. I log in, I do my quests, I basically just slime and everything by myself, and it's not like I do it every single day. I just take one day out of the weekend where I just sit there all day long and just, catch slimes all day long. And I'm sure a lot of you guys do that as well. And by no means are we exploiting the game. It's a system that's kind of been in place. It's what allows you to continue to play the game for free. And then personally, I think it's one of the major reasons why a lot of people stay in this game. It's because player retention is just difficult nowadays. There are so many games available, and I think that 433 is kind of shooting themselves in the foot with this one. I think that they should be looking more into player retention, into package cost reduction, into allowing more people to kind of fall into their package pricing. I think they really need to do some marketing research and really reach out to the community base. Right now, they're not really listening to the specific concerns, that the major player base has. And unfortunately, if they do happen to go about this change, I'm not saying that everybody's going to leave right away. I'm not saying that everybody's just going to stop playing MSL. Nor am I saying like, oh my God, boycott 4033. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that it's definitely a big change, and that we'll just have to take it as it goes. Some of you guys may choose to leave right now. Some of you guys may choose to leave in a month, 2 months, 3 months. I don't know. Maybe their intent is to get rid of everybody so that it's easier for them to close down the game and maybe pull their resources towards a new game. You never know what the developers are thinking in their mind. I think that personally, they are looking to progress in the game. They are looking to make the game a little bit fairer for everybody. But their calculations are clearly off. Personally, I think that they should reduce the cost of the in-game prices for their packages, because it will allow more people who maybe can't buy a $90 pack, but maybe can afford a $8 pack for, let's say the gold or something like that. If you look at the Astro chips, they're like $3 a piece, which are, if you spend, let's say, $3 a month, that's not that bad. I go out and I buy a cup of coffee for, $5 at Starbucks. So it can be comparable, depending on where you are in the world. The prices will vary, but I think that they're being a little bit cautiously optimistic with this change. But I also think that they are kind of making a big mistake here. The game will probably continue to go on. Hopefully they change things for the better, but I just wanted to kind of emphasize, the big things that basically are impacted by this change. Specifically, I wanted to talk about, let's see if we go in order here. I kind of made a list for myself. So we talked about sliming and how that basically impacts everything. The second thing I want to talk about is the impact on energy. So as you guys know, you need energy to run the quests. You get about 80 energy per 30 Astro Gems. So if you're not making any Astro Gems anymore, where is that 80 energy going to come from? You only get around 250 or so a day for free from the game itself. You get 50 of them by doing the daily ad watch. You get another 50 by sending, if you have 50 friends, you basically send energy to your friends. That's 100. And then depending on how much you've invested into your airship, I've obviously purchased the airship, so I haven't really updated it or anything, but I have 75 energy in my pool here. So after a day of not playing, I only have 75 energy, which, as you guys know, is only like the equivalent of 15 runs on story mode on extreme. If you guys also notice, it takes 5 minutes for one energy to refill. So if you really think about it, it takes you about an hour just to get 15 of these guys, which is not really energy efficient, especially if you want to play the game for as much farming as you need to do in this game, because as you guys know, this is purely a farming game. You leave it on an auto, you walk away from your game, you let it do its thing, you come back, and hopefully you have some decent gold and some good gems in your inventory that you can keep and get rid of the rest, and that's kind of how it goes. So that's basically the other big, change by this. If you're not making any extra gems, you're not going to have any energy to run the story mode. If you don't have, any reason to run story mode, you can't catch an Astromon. If you don't have energy, you can't catch exotics either. So does that mean that they're basically killing their own exotic packages? I know I will not be purchasing any of these stupid little packs if they plan on implementing energy packs or anything like that. It just sounds stupid to me. The other thing that is impacting, of course, is the gold. If you don't have energy, you can't make gold as well. You can't really do much else with the gold other than to update your gems and skill book your mons. What happens once you're at end game and you no longer need to skill book any mon because you have your set 12 evo 3 nat 5s, or you have your 20 evo 3 nat 5s all completed. What do you do with that extra gold? There's a lot of things that are left kind of up for questioning. But that's another thing that I think they need to address. How fundamentally different the game itself will need to be in order for them to kind of make this new change work. So the energy, the gold, the story mode. Next thing is, of course, golems. Golems, as you know, is kind of a big deal in the game, just because that's where you get a lot of your gems. If you're not doing golems, you're not really getting any decent gems that you can equip to your Astromon that will help you basically clear the content. If you look in the time frame of how horrible the rates are for certain gems to appear or to drop, is just ridiculous. You're not going to spend 8 energy doing Golems B10 to basically get a flat recovery gem. And yeah, everybody knows that how big of a joke flat recovery is, because it's literally 90% of the gems that drop from every single dungeon. Personally, I don't think that 8 energy is worth the cost of a flat recovery gem as it is. That's the reason why gold exists. You basically sell those crappy gems, fuel it into Astro Gems, and then use that to fuel in your energy so you can go back in there and hopefully find something else on the second turn, or the 10th, or the 20th, or the 1000th run of golems that you've done that week. I run golems for like a solid week and a half before Heroes Fest every month, so I can turn all my, basically all my energy into gold, and then on the last 2 days I farm like crazy so I can get my Astro Gems. So that's how I got these gems. I didn't sit here and spam some bot. I actually sat here and did this for the last like month. As you guys know, I pulled like 10,000 Astro Gems during the last Heroes Fest, so I had 10,000 left over, so I've been able to farm 10,000 in the last month. I did have close to 40,000 gold, but that's because, I had spent the entire month farming, and you know what? I was like, I have too many gems that I need to upgrade to level 15. So I sat here and I wasted close to 40 million gold, literally just updating gems. And it's because gems are the one thing that you need to basically progress through the game. So it's just one of those things that you guys have to also consider, the fact that golems will also need to change in order for the system to work properly. Let's see. So golems, gems, the other thing is also trinkets. Currently there is no way to get trinkets without doing the adventure mode. And the adventure mode basically consists of you going to the Astromon's Association and selecting, your specific area, and then sending your little team of Astromon to go do the missions for 8 hours in order for you to get some decent trinket material. It's just, if you're not doing those, you're not getting anything, and it costs you around 30 energy just to send those guys out for 8 hours. It doesn't sound like much, but it's still 30 Astro Gems that you have to toss in there, and 30 Astro Gems is close to 180,000 gold. So it's just something that you guys can keep in mind. As far as like anything else in the game that I see still kind of working a little bit funky is, of course, the skill books. Nobody ever talks about skill books. They cost a lot of gold. They're sitting in your box. You can't do anything with them. And if you are not planning on using them, you can't really get rid of them. They're just taking up space. I really wish that 433 would do something about those skill books. Am I happy about the new changes? Not entirely. Am I upset by them? not entirely. I think that if they change it and make some positive changes, I should say, I think that they can turn that around and maybe maybe increase the amount of asterisks that we get every week. I could see that working, but I think from their estimates, it's not going to work. I'm not trying to be negative, and I'm not trying to incite any commotion. I'm not trying to get you guys all upset, like, oh my God, I should leave Monster Super League. I should stop playing the game. But it is just something that you guys should keep in the back of your head. And I just wanted to talk about it really quick so that you guys would be aware that that is something that is going to change here at the end of the month. And I guess I do kind of want to emphasize that if you guys are planning on, doing anything in the last 2 weeks, it's just to kind of stock up on your Astro Gems, because you never know, if they're going to take out that Evo 2 repeatable quest as well. But if you guys have not thought about that, then maybe there's something that you guys can kind of work towards. Maybe just start stockpiling some slimes and, seeing what you can do. Maybe they will leave that evolution level 2 repeatable quest. I'm kind of hoping that they at least do that. But it is kind of crazy that they removed the 60 Astro Gem conversion. Maybe they will implement some new method to get more Astro Gems. Right now, I definitely don't think that it's efficient enough, especially because, Nat 5s, to get them to Evo 3, it just takes too long. You need too many Gleams. You need too many Nat 5s to fuse into them to get them to Evo 2. If it was like, get a Nat 5 and you get 3 Gleams a week, I could see that working. But currently, 1 Gleam a week for 1 Nat 5 is just, it's going to take you a whole year just to get 5 Nat 5s. Basically, it's not enough. It's going to take you 7 years or so just to get 10 Nat 5s to complete the game so that you can run Titans and things like that. So I think that they need to do a little bit more thinking. And I know that there's been quite a few people posting on Reddit and talking about this change and how it affects them. I'm sure 433 has looked at all the comments already on their feed. I know there's like over 400 comments, and I definitely suggest you guys to go to their Facebook page and at least leave a comment and address the situation as well. Some of you guys may take it too seriously, but at the end of the day, guys, it is a game. They're in it for the profit. So just understand that, they're not always going to be there to please everybody. But I do think that if they want to retain their player base and if they want to continue to profit off the game, they need to start listening a little bit more to the community, as well as making some positive changes, not creating basically complete chaos by making all these changes all at once. By all means, sliming is not the end of the world, but it is a very fundamental core component of Monster Super League. And as I broke it down, between sliming and energy, gold, the story mode, the golems, the gems, the trinkets, it's a big deal if you're taking out the conversion system of gold into gems and gems into energy. If I can't really emphasize this enough, but like, if you don't have energy, you cannot do anything else in the game. So unless they're planning on changing some aspect of the energy system and how you acquire energy, other than by requiring Astro Gems, I don't think that this is going to work for them in the long run. And I think they're going to basically have to go back to the beginning and change something else. Maybe they will re-implement it, 2 months down the road once they see that they literally killed a player base. And it'll be really hard for them to get everybody back. But it's just something to be aware of. So that's it for me, guys. I don't want to rant and keep on like basically talking about the same thing that you guys have already become concerned with. But I did want to show you guys a little bit of sliming, what it entails, and basically how it can affect Monster Super League in general, and why you should be somewhat concerned with what changes they are making. Again, leave a comment down in the section down below if you have any concerns or anything that you'd like me to address. If you guys have any ideas or things like that that you guys could see as a positive change that 433 could do, leave it down in the comment section down below. Maybe they're out there, maybe they're reading, maybe they're looking at what it is that you're writing and posting. I'm totally an advocate for, letting you guys be free and speak your minds. And so just go ahead and leave it down in the comment section down below what you think that, what is your opinion on this? What do you think that will change? Are you staying with the game, or you think that maybe you're going to move on to another game? It's just, food for thought. Again, guys, I will catch you guys in the next video. It'll probably be coming out tomorrow or the following day, but I'll probably be posting up some Titans and Colossus guides, as well as some Astromon reviews. And let me know in the comment section down below if you actually enjoyed the video, if you guys think I should cover some more developer news and things like that. If not, then I'll probably leave it on the back burner and just stick to the game content itself. Thank you guys for watching. I will catch you guys on the next MSL video.